Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Your Contractors and Fixflo. So it's Your Contractors and Fixflo, the key to resolving maintenance issues quickly. My name's Jessica, and I'm going to be going through the webinar with you this morning. Just to let you know, this webinar is of course being recorded, so I will send you all a recording by the end of play today, and it will take us around an hour to get through absolutely everything, and that includes a Q&A. So guys, any questions you have at all, please use the Q&A button, and I'd be so happy to answer any questions that you have. This really is a fantastic opportunity for you to ask me any Fixflo related question. Brilliant. So first of all, I'm just going to go through a quick agenda with you. So the first thing I'm going to be going through is the benefits of your contractors using Fixflo. There are benefits to both you as an agent and also the contractor. So I want to kind of get these across to you so you fully understand these. Then we're going to be going through a brand new feature that we've added on Fixflo, which is the Contractor Promote section. We're going to be going through how you can resolve issues on behalf of contractors. This is not something we recommend, but you can do it on those odd occasions which you absolutely need to in order to help you get the issues progressed using the Fixflo workflows. And finally, I'm going to be going through a fantastic time saver where you can see how your contractors can save time by emailing in their invoices and also now their property certificates. So this is an absolutely fantastic feature. Can't wait to show you that, and we'll go through that at the end. And finally, guys, at the end, there will of course be that live Q&A. So as I say, any questions at all, please do get them over to me. You should see the Q&A button on your Zoom bar. I absolutely love to see people engage. So literally any Fixflo related question, I'd be so happy to answer. Before we move on, I'm just going to launch a very quick poll. And the first thing we are going to kick off with are the benefits of your contractors really using Fixflo. So basically, why are we having today's webinar? Why is it so beneficial that your contractors engage with Fixflo? So as I mentioned, there are benefits both to you as the agent and also to the contractor. So we're going to start off with the benefits to you as an agent. So maintenance issues, when contractors use Fixflo, maintenance issues are then resolved in a really streamlined manner, with the contractor updating job statuses on the go, and they can also keep everyone in the loop. So there are notifications on Fixflo, which are sent out, for example, to landlords and occupiers. And this helps to keep everybody in the loop throughout the workflow. So if the contractor is using Fixflo properly, then actually this will be streamlined and people will be notified as you go. It also allows you to keep a full audit trail of all communications with both occupiers and contractors as well, which is absolutely fantastic. You guys probably know audit trails can make a real difference when you're kind of looking back to see exactly what happened on the issue. It allows you to securely share your occupier details with contractors via Fixflo as well. So this is something you can do, and they can, of course, communicate with them on the comments tab. I'm sure you know all about that. And also it allows you to maintain up-to-date contractor certificates in one place. So yes, you can manage contractor certification on Fixflo. If you would like to find out more about that, we do have another featured webinar which shows you exactly how that's done. We have a fantastic help site which allows you to learn absolutely everything about Fixflo. So contractor certification can be managed on Fixflo, and you can even set up kind of permissions around not awarding jobs to contractors who haven't got updated certification. So that can be really, really brilliant. As I mentioned, there's also a benefit to the contractor themselves. First of all, time saving. They can save so much time on their admin if they use Fixflo properly. And I'm going to show you later as well, as I said, how they can now email in their invoices and also property certificates, which can be a real time saver. Contractors, here we are, can email in their certificates and invoices, making the process quicker. So as I say, I'm going to show you that a bit later. There's also a Contractor App. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. This allows contractors to see everything under one roof. Even if they work for multiple agents, they can actually log in to all of their agents for the one app, keeping everything together. And they can also communicate with occupiers as well as yourselves and resolve issues on the go. just to let you know, the app is in the process of kind of being spruced up a bit. It's going to have a complete refresh soon. So please watch this space, that is coming soon. And also Fixflo allows contractors, to actually generate invoices within the system itself. So that is something they can do, which I think is super exciting. And again, it's just saving time and allowing them to generate an invoice in a different way. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's answered my poll. I'm going to end that now. It's great to kind of get an idea as to where the main pain point is. I can see that a lot of you are saying, so nearly half of you are saying their contractors need to add appointment times and dates to ongoing jobs. So that seems to be kind of the biggest bugbear that you guys have. Don't worry, hopefully this webinar will really help you regarding how you can promote Fixflo out to your contractors. Brilliant. Well, I hope that's given you all a really good idea of the benefits available for both you and the contractors if your contractors are really engaged with Fixflo. And now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the brand new tool that we have added under the promote section on Fixflo, allowing you to properly kind of have the tools to promote Fixflo to your contractors, as they are, of course, key stakeholders on Fixflo. So first of all, everybody has access to the promote section. It sits on your left-hand menu sidebar towards the bottom just here, and it says here promote. And when you click here, there are 3 different stakeholders you can promote to. So you've got your occupiers, landlords, and brand new is contractors. So contractors is something that we've added earlier this month. And like I say, this now gives you the tools to understand how you can better engage your contractors with Fixflo and get them excited about using Fixflo more. So if you click here onto promote to your contractors, here we have got, similar to what we have for landlords and occupiers, a range of different options to help you understand the contractor side more and see how you can kind of promote Fixflo out to your contractors. So I'm going to be going through these one by one, just to let you know, all of these will take you out to the help site, whether it be your help site. So there is an agent help site, which is help.fixflo.com. And just to let you know, you can access that by clicking here on our need help widget, which is the best place to go if you have any Fixflo questions at all. Just to show you very quickly, if I click here on need help, you can see this pop-up appears, and this is where you can search for any questions. It really is the quickest way to get an answer to a question that you may have, as we have got a number, hundreds of articles and also videos available on here to help you get to grips with the system. If, however, you cannot get the answer via one of our articles or videos, then we completely understand. And of course, you can contact us here, which will go through to our support team. They do get back to you as soon as they possibly can. But again, if you can find the answer through an article or video, that's even better, especially for yourself, because you'll get that answer quicker. Brilliant. We also have a contractor help site, and you can link out to that really easily from here. It's simply contractor-help.fixflo.com, and I will send you a link to this later on when I send you this recording as well. But for now, I'm in this brand new feature, promote to contractors, and let's go through these options one by one. So at the top here, we have kind of 3 different tools. So the first one is training your contractors. So this will show you a useful guide to help you train Fixflo out to your contractors. Now, if I click on read more, that will then open up, as you can see, a brand new tab for me. So it doesn't take me outside of the Fixflo site, which is brilliant because I can still access that here. And it takes me out to this tab where I can see an introduction to training your contractors. Now, this is on your help site itself. And as you can see, this is actually broken down with a table of content, allowing you to, for example, go to exactly where it is you want to click. So if any of these appeal to you, you can easily access this through your own Fixflo site and then click on where you would like to go. For example, here, if you wanted to know about the Contractor App, and you'll be able to read information about this here. This can be really, really useful for you and of course your agents as well. So please do feel free to have a look through this guide. Like I say, it really is very helpful for like an introduction to training your contractors. Now, this link here, this will link you out to a video. So this is actually YouTube rather than a help site itself. But this is a video that I, in fact, put together. And it's a video that shows you like a short introduction video. It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds long. So let's call it 5 minutes long. And it will show contractors how they can use Fixflo. So this is a brilliant video that, of course, you can watch yourself as well. But this is something you may want to send on to contractors if they are struggling with Fixflo. We want to be able to give you guys the tools to promote Fixflo to contractors yourself. But of course, don't forget that contractors can always message us if they need to as well. help@fixflo.com or support@fixflo.com. Either email address is absolutely fine, and they can always reach out if they're unsure. And our support team, again, will of course help them. But this can be a brilliant kind of introduction video for contractors to view and help them understand Fixflo better, how they can utilize it. So this is a brilliant video. It's also available on the welcome email that goes out to contractors, but we're going to get to that in a moment. But this really can be brilliant. Next here, we've got a contractor video library. So this will take you out to the contractor help site itself, which, as I say, I'm going to link out to you later, contractor-help.fixflo.com. And here we have got a video library for contractors as well. It's got some getting started videos and also how to use Fixflo videos as well. These have all actually been created by myself. And again, they're short, they're snappy, and it allows contractors to get an answer very, very quickly if they're not sure, for example, how to decline a job or how the dashboard works or something like that. There's a range of videos here to help them. And again, you have very quick access to that through your Promote to Contractors section. Below here, we have some more kind of promoting to contractor tips. This includes the contractor help site itself. Now here, this is just taking you to the general contractor-help.fixflo.com site, where again, the video library sits within here, but there's also articles for contractors as well. So this can be really useful for you to access quickly if your contractors are having problems. How do I add a contractor? Now, this is a very good question. Of course, if you're going to have your contractors using Fixflo, they first of all need to be added onto Fixflo. Now, if you have an advanced integration set up, then your contractors may come from that integration across to Fixflo, meaning you don't need to add them yourselves. However, if you don't have that set up, you will need to make sure you are adding contractors onto Fixflo. Now, this can be done in two ways. It can either be done via an import, so a bulk import if you're trying to add a lot of contractors, or alternatively, you can do it on a case-by-case basis. If you just had a contractor, for example, to add, you would click here on People, Contractors, and of course, you would then click here on Add Contractor. This allows you then to add the contractor onto Fixflo, and they would then receive the welcome email where they could then add their password and start logging in and actually resolving maintenance issues on Fixflo. So of course, adding contractors is important, and there's a guide on how you can do that just here. Sorry, just here on the promote section. I got a bit lost there. Do apologize. Brilliant. Onboarding your contractors. Now, as well as adding them, of course, you need to make sure you're onboarding them correctly. So if you click here, again, it will open up a new tab. And on there, it will show you how you can onboard your contractors in kind of the best way. Now, a lot of this is to do with the welcome email that goes out to contractors. Now, you can edit this as well. If you are an administrator user, then you will have access here to set up and content edit. Now it's here where you can make changes to the emails that go out via Fixflo, and also those templated pop-ups which are available on the occupier side. Now the emails are available within this first tab here, content. And if we scroll down here, we've got the email welcome contractor email that you can amend. Now, clicking here, you can view the email here. Just to let you know, we are soon going to be making some changes to this email. So if you haven't amended the email and you have got the default, this will be updating soon. We are working hard on this to make it better than it currently is. But of course, you can, if you want to, very easily make changes to this if you want to, by simply clicking on here. It's just like a Word document. Simply click, start typing, and then all you need to do is press save once you're happy, and then that will save for you. Like I say, if you have got the default, we are going to be making amendments to this to make it even better, but you can also preview this and revert yours to the default if you've made changes and actually you want to go back to the default. That's absolutely fine as well. When you click on the preview, you can see what the contractor receives. And what we highly recommend as well is that you set yourself up as a dummy contractor at some point, because that then will allow you to not just see the welcome email kind of in all its glory, but also it will allow you to set up an account, get the app, be able to log in as a contractor and put test issues through so that you can really get into the contractor's shoes and be able to understand it when they have queries themselves. Again, if queries cannot be resolved via the help site or anything like that, they can, of course, email us, as I mentioned earlier, support@fixflo.com, and we'd be happy to assist them. But this welcome email really can make a big difference, and you can send this out to any contractors that have received it before as a one-off contractor and also as a bulk send. So say, for example, you want to re-engage all of your contractors after this webinar today. What you could do is you could come in, again, you must be an administrator user to access this setup and content edit section here. You could make amendments to this email as you want, and then you could click here on people, contractors. Again, you can send this to a one-off contractor by simply clicking into the contractor profile here, scrolling down and sending the welcome email. Or alternatively, you can go to people, contractors, and you can actually bulk send this by clicking here on the options button and sending the welcome email. Now, if you have recently archived any contractors from your system, I would recommend that first of all, you click on this search button here and actually you decide to remove any archived contractors. So change this to active only, as by default, this will search for your actively or recently archived contractors. So if we search for active only and press search, this is only your active ones now, and you could click here on options and send welcome email. Now this will bulk send out the email that you've just reviewed and maybe amended, re-engaging your contractors. So of course you could amend that email if you wanted to. If it was a re-engagement email, you could maybe make some big changes to it and then revert it back to the default so it's ready as a welcome email when you add new contractors. But it really is important to engage them and use this email to ensure that you've welcomed them properly. Brilliant. Okay, back to the promote section, guys. We are getting through this, so that's brilliant. What is Fixflo for contractors? So this will again take you out to the contractor help site, as we can see here. And this is just showing contractors exactly what Fixflo is. It gives them kind of a breakdown really quickly in some bullet points, and it comes back to that video that I showed you earlier on YouTube. So this would actually be a brilliant kind of, if contractors are really struggling, this will show them a really quick breakdown as well as that video as well. So they can watch that within this itself. So if they click it, it just actually keeps it within the article. Creating your Fixflo login, of course, contractors must ensure that they have a login. So if some of them are saying they're struggling with a login, you can of course send them this article, or alternatively just resend them the welcome email to that one-off contractor as I showed you. That would be absolutely fine as well. We've got here setting up your account. So again, this will go out to the contractor help site itself, and here, for example, they can set up, it will show them how to like add their logo, about contractor services, etc., if they want to add that, and invoicing. So this will give them kind of a bit more of an understanding. It's obviously got more detail here on how they can set up their account on Fixflo. And finally, as I mentioned before, we have the Contractor App. Now, I can't stress enough how important it is that you set yourself up as a dummy contractor to really get into their shoes. And if you do, please do download the Contractor App. You can download this from the App Store or the Play Store. It's absolutely free of charge. Just type in Fixflo Contractor App and you'll be able to find it, and it will give you an understanding of that. As I say, we are working hard right now on a refresher of that Contractor App. So that is something that will be going out, I believe, in the coming months. So it's going to be kind of even better. But here we've got some information on it as well. So the Contractor App is a brilliant way for contractors to resolve issues on the go, which I think they really like. And this has just got some information here about the app. And again, this is on the Contractor Help site. So although it's the Contractor Help site, of course, you have access to it as well. And it's a brilliant way for you to be able to link these things out to your contractors when they're struggling with certain things. I don't know if any of you've noticed, but there is a flyer missing. So for the landlords and for occupiers, there are kind of promotion flyers. It is something we're working on for contractors at the moment. So please bear with us. We are working on that. That will be added to this promote section as well. If you wanted, for example, to attach that to any emails or to perhaps print them out, so when contractors come in, you have the flyer ready as well. So that's something that you can also use, but it's coming soon. Brilliant. Guys, the next thing I'm going to show you is how you can resolve a maintenance issue on behalf of a contractor. Now, as I mentioned to you previously, this really is something we would not recommend that you do. The reason being is because you want your contractors to be using Fixflo themselves rather than relying on you. And if they get wind of the fact that you can resolve issues on behalf of them, they could end up relying on you quite a lot. So ideally, you want to make sure that you're pushing every single party, be it occupiers, contractors, landlords, to resolve issues themselves. But there is, of course, the opportunity for you to resolve issues on behalf of other parties if you absolutely need to. Now, to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click into an issue. I was progressing earlier this morning, so I'm just going to click into this one here. And just to show you, if, for example, the contractor was to call me now about this issue and say, oh, you know, I've got the appointment date, and as I understand from the poll, this is one of your kind of key pain points that you guys have, as 50% of you, well, nearly 50% said you would want them to add appointment times and dates a bit more. If they were to call with a time and date now, yes, I could try and push them onto Fixflo. You know, have you logged in? Remember, it's cloud-based as well, so contractors can access Fixflo on any device. There's also the app. It is really quick for them to log in. And just to let you know as well, it is single sign-on. So when a contractor receives an email and they, you know, it says enter time and date here, or your appointment time and date, if they click on that, it will not ask them for their credentials. So they are logged straight into Fixflo just from clicking on that button. So really and truly, there should be enough drive to push them onto Fixflo themselves. But if they are not, what you can do is you can come to the issue here as I have, and you can progress the issue on their behalf. So the workflow continues by clicking here on where it says waiting for contractor, where you'll be able to see exactly what they can see on the screen. So you could even talk them through it on the phone, or even if they come into the office, and you could set the appointment date for them on their behalf. You could say that this is an absolute kind of one-off time that you can do it, but going forward, this is something they should do themselves. And then you could send them some of those promotion tips and tools that I've just gone through with you. So if I wanted to set the appointment date on their behalf, I could click here and add in the appointment date, time, and say whether or not this has been agreed with the occupier for them. Again, guys, really not recommended. It's so easy for contractors to use Fixflo themselves, as I've just mentioned. So I just wanted to show you that that is possible for any of you that weren't aware of that. I do hope that has helped. So the next thing I'm going to show you, I'm very, very excited about, as this is a real time saver for contractors. This is all to do with how they can save time by emailing in their invoices and also their property certificates as well. So let's start with invoices. So each and every contractor has access to their very own unique email address. Now, this can be accessed both by yourselves, so you can provide it for them, and also they can find this within their Fixflo site themselves. So I'll show you where they can find it a bit later. But first of all, how can you access this unique email address which they need? Well, you would simply click here, on people, and then go to contractors. From here, you would click into the desired contractor that you want to find the email address for. And then you would simply click here on invoicing. From here, you can see this is the invoice. Now, each and every contractor has their unique email address here. So this is my one for my dummy contractor, Reggie's Roofing. And again, all I would need to do is copy this, and then I could send it on to them if I wanted to. And so this is now where you can email in your invoices and your property certificates. Starting with invoices, a really, really important and key thing here. If they are going to email in their invoices, it's really important that they include the IS number on the actual invoice. They can send as many invoices in one email as they want. They are not kind of limited to one. They can send as many as they want. So it might be something brilliant for contractors that use Fixflo a lot, who want to email on a Friday all of their invoices for that week. Absolutely fine. But like I say, they must 100% include the IS number, which is unique to the specific issue, onto that invoice. So for example, to show you where the IS number is, I'm sure you all know, it sits here on the left-hand side when you're looking at a list of issues, and it's also on the top left-hand corner, and it is unique to that specific issue. Contractors are also aware of the IS number as well. Okay, brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag my emails across here, and as the contractor now, I'm going to pop in that unique email address. Like I say, that's really important. The subject doesn't matter. They don't even really need to add one. They could just pop here like invoice, something like that. Doesn't matter. The IS number does not need to be on the email anywhere or in the subject. It just needs to be on the invoice itself. The reason it needs to be on the invoice is so that it can then match straight onto the issue. If the invoice is not attached, it will not add to the issue, if that makes sense. But I'm going to show you this now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a file. So I'm going to find an invoice which I created earlier. Blue Peter moment here. So here we go. Now, just to show you, if I open up this invoice quickly, this invoice, I have added an IS number to. So I've just added it there. So it is attached to this particular invoice, okay? Now that's added onto this email. It's going to the unique email address. I haven't added anything in the actual email itself. Don't need it. Again, you don't even need a subject. Well, the contractor doesn't need a subject. If they now press send, I'm now going to go in as the contractor. Bear with me 1 second. And I'm going to show you what happens. Actually, I'm just going to wait for the email, because an email will now come out to the contractor letting them know whether or not the document that they've attached, in this case an invoice, whether or not it has attached to an issue. Again, if the IS number was added like mine was, then it will automatically attach to the issue. If it was not added, then unfortunately it won't. So first thing they'll receive is an email saying this. So this contractor is called Mr. Pepper. So it says here, "Dear Mr. Pepper, we have received an email to your document inbox. The subject of the email was invoice. The following attachments have been processed." So here we can see it's being processed. Sorry, just bear with me a second. And now we can see here they've received a second email. So they'll always receive two, one to let them know it's being processed, and then immediately this second one will come through saying, "Dear Mr. Pepper, the invoice 1235 for £30 has been successfully attached to the issue," and it's got the issue here. Now, this is the IS number that I attached on or added onto the onto the invoice itself, and they can click here on view issue. As I mentioned before, anytime they click from the email into Fixflo, it will automatically log them in. They will not be asked for their credentials, so no email address or password, making it really quick and really easy for them to access Fixflo. And the brilliant thing about this is it actually completes the job for them as well. So now, as well as the invoice attaching straight to the job was actually marked as complete automatically for them. So that can be a real time saver for the contractor, as you can imagine, because now they don't even need to log in to mark the job as complete. It's all been done automatically for them because the invoice has attached to the IS number. And you can see here, if I go to job completion details, it shows here, works completed, invoice emailed, and it should also pass across the costs as well. So if the costs are added onto the invoice, which of course they will be passed across to the job as well. If I now go in to this issue as the agent, so as yourselves, the invoice will be attached on here to the documents tab. So we can see there's the invoice, which has just been emailed in from the contractor. And as I say, it will automatically mark the job as complete, which I think is brilliant. Someone has just raised their hand. Brilliant. If you've got any questions, please put it through in the Q&A. Again, I'd be really, really happy to answer those questions. There are a few questions that have come in, which is brilliant to see. Please keep getting them in, guys. We are actually getting towards the end of the webinar. I've left a bit longer than I thought we needed, but it does give us time for any questions that come through. Now, what I'm going to do is show you what happens if a contractor emails in an invoice but doesn't add the IS number, which, as I said before, really absolutely is key. Now, just to show you, if the contractor wants to find their unique email address to email their invoices in, they simply need to be logged into Fixflo here. They can click here on setup and invoicing, and here they will actually need to add their password. Bear with me 1 second. Brilliant. Because it's sensitive information. So because it logged me in straight from the email address itself, if they want to access sensitive information, then they'll need to add their password here, but they can here find their invoice, their email address themselves. So this again is the unique email address. It can be found by both the contractor and also by yourselves. Again, all contractors need to do is click on setup and invoicing to find that here. So if I'm the contractor now and I want to email in an invoice, but I haven't added the all-important IS number, this is what will happen. So I just want to show you so that you can get an idea. So here's an invoice that I added earlier, just to show you as well. Once that's uploaded, just want to click on it so you can see exactly how it looks. It's basically the same as the one before, but I haven't added any IS number. So I'm sure you're happy with that. You can't see it anywhere at all. In this case, if now as the contractor I send this, Fixflo is not going to know which issue this is for. How would it? Without the IS number on the actual invoice itself, Fixflo are no wiser. They have no clue as to where this should go. So I'm going to show you now which email the contractor will receive. Again, they'll receive two, one to say this is being processed, and then one to say, unfortunately, this has not matched. So let's show you now. And then what we're going to do after that is move on to the final invoicing section where they can email in, so the final email section where they can email in their property certificates. Also, just to let you know as well, if you've got contractors that use, say, QuickBooks or something like that, as long as on the software itself there's like an email address which they can email their invoices to. They've probably got their own email address in there themselves. But if there's a CC email address, they can add this unique email address. And then what will happen is as soon as they've created the invoice on, say, QuickBooks, it will invoice straight over to Fixflo, saving them even more time because they won't need to do that. So please bear that in mind and do let your contractors know about that. If there's a CC email address, add this unique email and it will actually save them so much more time than even now. So if there's no IS number on the invoice, this is the email they'll receive. So it will let them know that the file has been successfully received, but could not be auto-attached. And again, it makes sense because, of course, there was no IS number on there. If the contractor then logs in via that button, it will take them to the invoice here. So the invoice will be stored within their Fixflo site, but what they'll need to do is they will need to attach it to an issue. So it makes much, much more sense for the IS number to be on the invoice initially itself, because imagine if they've sent 10, they're not going to know what they're all for, and trying to find the issue here could be a bit of a nightmare. So best thing to do is ensure that the IS number's on there. And like I say, if they're using QuickBooks or something like that, add it in the email CC. Brilliant. Final thing. They can also, as I said, email in property certificates. Now, unfortunately, with property certificates, there is no way to currently match them, but it can still make a massive difference. So, for example, if I now, as the contractor, want to email in a property certificate, I could do so. Again, the subject really doesn't matter as long as things are attached. Now, I'm going to add here a gas safety certificate onto a job. This job is currently with the contractor, so I've added a gas safety certificate here. Like I say, because IS numbers don't kind of add on to gas safety certificates in the way they do to invoices, it's impossible for us to currently match the property certificate with the correct IS number. So guys, this is more for planned maintenance. There's currently no way for it to automatically add, but what they can do is they can see the email, which I'm about to show you, and then they can match the document side by side with the issue on Fixflo. So this is something they can do. I just wanted to show you this so that you can see exactly how this is done as well. With the invoicing thing, of course, it's slightly better because it can automatically match. Unfortunately, like I say, not available for property certificates, but hopefully it is something that your contractors can, of course, use. I know contractors are already using this, which is brilliant. I'm just waiting for that email to come through. Here we go. So this is the email which the contractor at this point will receive if they do try to upload a property certificate. So it says here, we've received an email to your document inbox. The subject of the email was property certificate. The following attachments have been processed. So it sits here. What they can then do is, it does show the file was not imported. So if they want to log in to Fixflo, they can do just here. Sorry, for some reason now it's asking me for these. I think it's because I logged in from that login button. There wasn't a button to take me to the issue because it doesn't know which issue it's for, which kind of makes sense. So just logging in now. The document will be here. So it'll be in the unattached documents just here on the contractor side. So we can see some invoices here. And bear with me 1 second. Maybe it's just taking a bit of time to actually get on there. I do apologize. But once it's on, I'll be able to show you exactly how that's done. I'm just going to wait on that. I do apologize. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start answering some questions. It might just be taking, like I say, a little bit of time to actually attach there. So a few questions have come in, which is super exciting. guys, I'm just waiting, of course, for that email. If any of you are leaving us now, I just want to say a big thank you for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure kind of going through these new tools with you. When you do leave the webinar today, there will be a quick survey. I'd really appreciate if you could just take a little bit of time, maybe 1 minute, just to answer those questions. Just like to see kind of how you got on today's webinar. There's also a bit of qualitative feedback you can leave as well. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. If there's anything I can do to improve webinars going forward, if there was anything you particularly liked, please do let me know. I'd honestly love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I am going to go through some questions. Just before that, actually, before I forget, I just want to explain to you that on Fixflo Academy, we do actually have a free course available on the contractor side of Fixflo. Now, this will give you a better understanding of how your contractors use Fixflo. So if you want to understand even more about the contractor side, this is a really short kind of 40-minute course, and it is a clear training platform which features on-demand videos. There's also interaction slides on there. You get downloadable takeaway slides, quizzes, and you will receive a certificate upon completing that course. It is short and snappy. If you've done the introduction course, you'll have already learned all of this information, but it's there to help you and your team learn how contractors use Fixflo. It is completely free of charge, and you can also track your progress as you go through the course. Just to let you know, this is currently available for lettings customers only, but do feel free to kind of sign up to Fixflo Academy. If you want any help with Fixflo Academy, please do, of course, let us know as well. You've got the need help widget. It is free of charge to sign up to. If you haven't already agreed to Fixflo T's and Fixflo Academy terms and conditions, you can easily do so by clicking here on Setup, Settings, clicking on the T's and C's tab here and going to the additional feature, Fixflo Academy. Although it says additional feature, it is completely free of charge. Please do agree to those T's and C's, and then you can get logging in. You can find out how to sign up via the need help widget. And as I say, it's a brilliant way for you and your team to better learn Fixflo. There's much more than just the contractor side of Fixflo as well course. There's the planned maintenance course if you want to learn about planned maintenance. There are introduction courses on there, a promotion course for your occupiers, and also a course to do with agent and team assignment as well. It is something I will be building out further too, so please do keep an eye on that. But if you would like to learn more about that, please do there. Brilliant. I'm now going to get answering your questions. So the first question came in: can you delete a contractor who has gone into liquidation instead of just archiving them? Jill, thank you so much for your question. Unfortunately, contractors cannot be deleted. The only people that you can actually fully delete from the system are your occupiers, and that's due to GDPR. But when it comes to contractors, you can only archive them. Archiving them, though, means that they will no longer have access to the system, so they will no longer be able to log in, and they're easily archived by clicking into a profile like this, scrolling down, and then clicking here on the archive button. So that's really, really easily done, guys. Unfortunately, you cannot fully delete. Please, can you let me know if there is a reason you want to fully delete them and archiving is not enough? And what I can do is I can get that back to the team. As I say, that can, however, be done with occupiers due to GDPR. Hi, Jacques. Thank you for your question as well. Can we have a training email that can be automated to send out to contractors every 6 months or so to remind contractors to do training on Fixflo, make it compulsory to do it once a year, and track that they did that? When you say do training, what kind of training would you like for contractors? We currently don't have any training as such that they need to complete. It's more just these are the tools to help you better understand Fixflo. There is a reminder email you can send out to your occupiers every 3, 6, and 12 months, I believe. It is something I can put forward to the development team, but Jack, I would love to know a bit more from you in terms of what training material you would want on there. But I do really like the idea. If you could either let me know in the Q&A now or send us an email, you know how to, through the need help button just here, and click on contact us. I would love to hear from you, and of course I can always get that back to the team. Really like the idea of having something automated. I would just like to know what you'd like on it. Brilliant. The next question is from Alan. Alan, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. Hi, I need to send a bulk email to our contractors regarding an internal process change. Is there another option somewhere to bulk welcome to the bulk welcome email? Unfortunately not, Alan, but what you can do is you can, of course, click on setup here and content edit, amend the welcome email to the internal process change, and then send that email as the welcome email, as I showed you before. So again, setup, content edit, click here into the welcome email, amend that as you need, then go to people, contractors here, click on options, send that email, and then go back into the email and revert it to default. That's what I would recommend you do. I will get that idea over to the product team though, because I think this has come up before where people want to send something other than the welcome email, and they want to keep the welcome email as it is, just in case they forget to revert it and send something different. So let me get that over to the product team, and I will we'll go from there. Thank you though, Alan. Dean, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. Can the contractor enter planned attendance date and jobs in the app as well as the desktop? Yes, of course. When you say enter planned attendance dates, do you mean adding an appointment date? Yes, this can all be done on the app. As I say, the app is going to have a refresh, which I'm really excited about. I'm sure you guys are too. But yes, of course, they can progress jobs on the app. What I would recommend you do is download the app, use the app. So again, set yourself up as a dummy contractor, log in as a contractor, get the app, log in as the app as well, so that you can see what they can do. But they can progress jobs on the app by, yes, entering, for example, an appointment time and date. They can enter job completion dates. They can even create invoices as well on the app as well. There's loads and loads they can do on the app. It is important to realize and recognize that the app does not mirror the desktop version. It does not have absolutely everything on it, but it does have a whole lot. So the app is brilliant, doesn't have, for example, settings and things like that. However, it does have a lot on there. And one of those things is, yes, they can progress jobs. And of course, they can communicate and use the comments tab on there as well. So if that's what you mean, Dean, the answer is yes, of course. Ed, 2 questions from you. Brilliant. Nice to see you here. First of all, can the landlord automatically approve a quote, or does it need to route through the agent first? So yes, if a contractor is asked for quotes first, it will not automatically go to the landlord. That is not something, unfortunately, we have on Fixflo. Again, this is something I can send on to the team, the development team for you. I can imagine, yes, it would cut out time, but at the moment, the quotes would come back to you, and then you would need to send them on to the landlord if you wanted to. If you were to send them on to the landlord, you could choose which quotes go to the landlord. So it might be a case where 3 quotes have come in, but only 2 are actually sensible quotes. So you could select just those 2 and send them on to the landlord, but there is no automatic way to do that. Unfortunately not. Again, I'll get that over to the team for you. There are some brilliant ideas coming through here, so I'm really pleased to see, and questions keep coming. So please, guys, keep them coming. We have got until 11 o'clock. Second question, Ed, will the invoice, once uploaded by the contractor, feed through to Reapit? That is a brilliant question. Admittedly, I'm not the Reapit expert here at Fixflo. Let me check that, and I'll get back to you by the end of play today regarding that. I just can't remember on the top of my head. We have lots and lots of integrations set up, and sometimes it's hard to remember absolutely all of the details just by myself. So I will read up on that and get back to you, Ed. You're very welcome. Ryan, good morning. One of my contractors has issues with closing jobs down as completed, as they don't have an actions button, e.g. one of our tenants raises a job, so it goes to the next step, asking the contractor to quote. In this case, my contractor, my own maintenance guys, he goes to the job and discovers he was able to fix it without having to quote. So he should be able to close the job down straight away, but he's forced to quote. How do we make sure the actions button is available for him? Ryan, that's a brilliant question. Please, could you do me a favor? Would you click here on the need help button, contact us, and add the IS number? Okay, so when you contact us through this way, one brilliant thing here is that we actually have the IS number section here. So if ever you use this kind of need help, contact us section, please ensure that you add the IS number if it's to do with a specific IS number, of course, as it will help the support team to get an answer for you quicker. If you could put it to my attention, please, because I know the support team are a few team members down today, and I will have a look into that for you. It should have kind of other options, but get that over to me and I'll have a look into that for you. Again, just click on the need help, add the IS number, and please put that one to my attention. Thank you, Ryan. Sorry, I can't answer that on the go. I'd need to see it. Jacques, another question from you. Brilliant. If a contractor is registered by more than one Fixflo system, will the email be the same for the contractor? No. So if a contractor is emailed from, say, you as the agent through Fixflo, it will have your as long as your logo is on Fixflo, which I'm sure it is, it will have your logo, your color scheme, and of course your URL. So when a contractor logs in on the desktop version, okay, they must log into the URL like this here. So mine, for example, would be jessica-doobie.fixflo.com. Yours would be your agency name.fixflo.com. So it would be unique to that specific email. If on the app, they can actually go onto the app and log into several agencies under the one app, which is one of the key benefits of contractors using the app, but the email will be unique to your URL, and of course it will have, like I say, your logo and color scheme, and when they log in, they'll be logging into your URL, Jacques. I hope that makes sense. If that doesn't quite make sense or was something I missed, pop it in the Q&A. Gosh, the questions keep coming. I love it. Let's carry on. Next one, Ryan again. Hello. So one of my maintenance guys, contractors, cannot see some of our properties in the search bar and is unable to raise a job for these rooms. I'm set up as an agent, so I can see everything, but some rooms aren't visible for him, so he needs to come to me every time. Again, Ryan, I think this is something I would need to look into. So once again, need help, click contact us. This time you don't need an IS number because it doesn't apply, but pop it all in, put it to my attention again, and I will have a look into that for you and get back to you. Okay, so if you could please do that, Ryan, I do apologize. It's just, it seems really unique to a specific contractor there. Anonymous question here. Hello. Thank you for joining me again. Are Fixflo going to provide a template email to go to contractors regarding the use of the invoice email? And will each contractor get their unique email address in it? Let me speak to the team about that. I know there was an email that went out to contractors, I think from Fixflo before, because I was on that project, I believe, and also there was an app queue. I can't remember the specifics, but if this is something you would like in terms of a template email under content edit about being able to email their invoices, I think that is something that I can definitely, again, get to the product team for you. Guys, please be aware, everything I send on to the product team, we absolutely love your feature requests. We love your insights. We love to hear feedback from you. However, we cannot promise that absolutely everything that is asked for will end up on Fixflo. I will always do my very best for you to ensure that it is brought to life, but we cannot promise everything will end up on Fixflo. Fixflo does have a lot of kind of complex features, and we always do our best to keep you guys happy, and I'll do my best, but I can't promise it. But again, I think it's a brilliant idea. I know we sent something out before, but I will get that forward for you. All right. But unfortunately, it's not available just at the moment. But like I say, there was a campaign that went out before, and it did actually increase the amount that people were doing that. Jacques, I think the invalid file format was the problem on the email. Check your email again. I'll have a look at that in a moment, Jacques. It still hasn't come through, so I think there was a problem with what I sent. But the funny thing is, I did actually send that email yesterday. So what Jacques is relating to is the email that came back about the gas safety certificate I tried uploading. It's not pending, but I literally uploaded exactly the same one yesterday. Maybe that's why it's unhappy. I actually don't know. But basically, when it comes in, what you'll need to do, just to show you, is it will come in unattached like this. You'll click into it. Rather than it being an invoice, it will be a property certificate. The document type will show as property certificate rather than invoice, and you'll have to search through the issues here. You'll add the certificate type, you'll add the certification start and expiry date, and then it will match straight to the IS number, which will then also pull in for you as the agent, so that you'll be able to see that on the documents tab of the issue and also of the actual property as well. I do apologize, guys. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I promise you it does work. I think, Jacques, you might be right, and I do apologize. Ed, just to clarify question 1, can the quote for works go directly to the landlord to approve? I hope I answered this correctly or properly before for you. Unfortunately not. So you can't automatically send a quote to the landlord to approve. Again, I'll send this to the product team for you. I can imagine the site time saving there. At the moment, that's something you manually have to do. Brilliant. So next question, Emma. Hi, good morning. So contractors can add their PPM dates to the system so that the site personnel know when to expect them. Sorry, Emma, I'm not sure I quite understand the question there. Do you mind just rephrasing that? Yeah, sorry, I'm just not quite sure. If you could get back to me on that one, that would be brilliant. Jacques, better understand Fixflo and the benefits to use the system. This is for your email that goes out, the email that goes out automatically. Okay, brilliant. Yep, again, like I say, I'll get that over to the product team for you. Again, I can't promise everything. Next question, Dominica. Dominica, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. I've noticed our contractor doesn't get notified about submitting a quote after a deadline has passed. The job will close on their end and show no longer as active. Is there anywhere we can change this? So contractors will get chased every Monday morning. Okay, so every Monday morning it will tell them any tasks which are kind of overdue. If, however, the deadline has passed on the quote, then it will no longer be with them to quote. They won't be able to. So it wouldn't make sense, I suppose, to send a notification. Do you think it would be good to then send a notification on the day to say, you know, the deadline is today? If you could get back to me on that, Dominica, that would be brilliant. Any way that we can improve the system, again, we'd love to hear from you. But at the moment, if the deadline's passed, the job no longer sits with the contractor. So sending an email then wouldn't make sense because they can't do anything with it. But if you think it would be useful on the day to be like, deadline fast approaching, could you let me know? Again, use the Q&A, or again, guys, you can always reach out via the help site here. Oh, and that's just to show you the contractors actually have their own help site as well, where they can access their help site here, which we went through earlier, and also they can contact us here as well. So that is possible for contractors, just so you know. Another question from Emma, but another Emma. Good morning. As some contractors have multiple staff, is it possible for a company to have sub-profiles within the Fixflo account to allow multiple engineers or staff to have access and to better be able to track which staff member completed this issue? Great question, Emma. Unfortunately not. At the moment, it is just one sign-in per contractor. Again, let me get this forward to the development team. That is a really, really big piece of work. It's just something to bear in mind because it does change the way contractors work quite a lot. Let me get it forward though. I would love that to be a feature because a lot of people have asked for this. We do understand contractors aren't just one-man bands, and sometimes actually there are multiple people that work there. So yeah, let me get that through. Another anonymous question. Hello. Can contractors email in their health and safety insurance certificates as well to be automatically processed? Not at the moment. So with the emailing, currently it's invoices and property certificates only. I'm sure this is something which will widen, but at the moment that is currently what's possible. Yeah. Emma, can contractors email in multiple invoices in one email? 100% yes. So they could, for example, on a Friday be like, do you know what? I've done 10 jobs this week. I'm going to email them all in one. The subject doesn't matter as long as the as long as the invoice has the IS number on it, that is what matters. Of course, they can email in multiple. That's absolutely fine. Jade, hello, hi. We have multiple contractors who don't get notified when we request for a quote. They only see this when they go into the job. That's odd. So contractors have their own settings. Okay, so here I am logged in as mine. If we click here on setup and notifications, here contractors can see which notifications they receive. This can also be seen on your end. Okay, so as well as contractors being able to resolve or amend, if you like, and see these notifications, this is also something you can view on your end. So if the contractor wants to amend it, they need to be logged in, click on setup notifications and amend it here. For you as the agent, you'll need to click here on people, contractors, click into a contractor, and you've got their notification settings. So if this is for one particular contractor or a few, go into their notifications and make sure that, for example, here, when the quote is sent to them, here we go, when quotes are requested, that is set to send, okay? And there's also app notifications in here as well. So you can see the notification type and also whether or not it's set to send. To edit them, you have to edit them kind of one by one here. So you can click on edit settings and you could amend that if you want to. So please make sure that is sent to send. Again, that's set up on a per contractor basis. It just looks like maybe that's been amended. I hope that was helpful, Jade. Thank you. Another question from Emma again. Also, can a contractor email in both an invoice and a safety certificate relating to that invoice, like a gas safety certificate, within one email? Would love the system to be able to recognize a safety certificate was relevant to the issues based on the IS number existing on the invoice. I love that. It's not possible though, unfortunately. If they add in like a gas safety certificate, it will never pass across because the IS number is not on it. It needs to be on the document itself. If you were to, if a contractor was to email in their invoice with the IS number and a property certificate, the invoice would go off to the IS number, but the property certificate, unfortunately, would be set in limbo. Again, these are all things that I can send on to the development team. But the thing with that is then contractors wouldn't be able to necessarily be like, here are all my invoices at once. But yeah, I can see the question. Unfortunately, it's not quite possible. There's just the final Emma who said, so contractors can add their PPM dates to the system so the site personnel know when to expect them. I'm so sorry, Emma. I'm just not sure I fully understand the question. Do feel free to reach out. Need help sits just here. Contact us here. Put it to my attention because, like I say, the support team are slightly understaffed today. I don't want to overwhelm poor Charlie. But guys, it's been a real pleasure going through the contractor kind of side of things with you and understanding the key to resolving maintenance issues quickly. I do hope you found this webinar to be helpful, and I will be sending out a recording by the end of play today. Please do answer the survey. I'd really love to hear how you got on today, and provide me with any feedback. There's a little qualitative section. I'd love to hear if there's anything I can do better, if there's anything I do particularly well, please do let me know. I'm always trying to improve here at Fixflo and make the webinars the best they possibly can be for you. Jade, you're very welcome. Thank you for your message. Emma, we have one more question. This is the final one. So we have the ability to manipulate our safety certificate templates. If I were to include a field on the safety certificate to include a place for the IS number, would Fixflo be able to upload it? Wow, amazing. That's being very Fixflo. I will ask. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure what the answer on that would be. We do need the IS number, of course, to be on there. It would be helpful. But at the moment, I don't quite know what that would mean. I will need to ask a developer, but I can get back to you, Emma. No problem at all. Brilliant. Excellent. Guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me. My name's Jessica. I work here at Fixflo as the product training manager. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.